So what do you think about, like, when you look to Jesus teaching himself, praying to God? I don't want to put you on the spot, but what I would say to you as a Muslims, we believe in Jesus. We believe he was a great messenger, the true Messiah. We go against the teaching of some Jewish who say that he was a bastard. We say no, he was a true Messiah, and he was born without a father. However, we believe that people after him, they went to extreme about him, either make him equal to God, because Jesus himself prayed to God alone. So why I'm going to pray to Jesus is like me, I'm a Muslim. Prophet Muhammad prayed to God directly. If I pray to Prophet Muhammad, I'm not following Prophet Muhammad, because Prophet Muhammad prayed to who? To Allah. So if you really want to follow Jesus, you pray to God alone. You understand? And also we know that Jesus' teaching has not been preserved. That's why the language that Jesus spoke, it was Aramaic. We don't have it anymore. We have it in Greek, the Bible. And we cannot even trace it back. But when it comes to Islam, the Quran, one of the miracles of the Quran, Allah mentioned he will preserve it and people will memorize it. That's why if the Muslims and the Jews and the Christians, all of them decide to burn the scriptures, the only scripture will remain with us in our heart is the Quran. Because around the world, Muslims at the age of 9 and 10 memorize the Quran word for word, letter for letter. It's like, the alphabet. Everyone memorizes it, A, B, C. By writing it, I can, say A, O, C. I can change it, but I will never be able to change it within the heart. People say, no, Brother Shamsi, you're wrong. It's A, B, C. You understand? That's the beauty of the Quran. We're not in need of the written form because we memorize it. The Muslim children, the age of 9 and 10. And even some Muslims do not even speak the Arabic language and memorize the Quran word for word, letter for letter. And you know what? It's a miracle. You know why? Because imagine all of us here, we memorize a book in Chinese. But guess what? None of us know Chinese. Hang on, that doesn't make any sense. You know that book in Chinese and you're pronouncing it correctly, but you don't even speak Chinese. The Quran, that's the beauty of it. Memorized by millions of Muslims. So I would tell you, look, I know you're born in a Christian family, understand that, but God gave us intellect. We cannot just follow our forefathers or our parents, My wife, one of the reasons she became Muslim, she told me, when she was young, she said, it did not make sense to me. I'm praying to Mary, who prayed to God. Or Jesus is God, but he has a God. It doesn't make sense to her. She started searching. She became Muslim way before I met her. And she became Muslim, alhamdulillah. Because Islam goes in line with our sound reasoning. There's only one God, perfect God. He's not in need of us. Everyone's in need of him. When Allah told us to worship him, not because he's in need of our worship, because we are in need of worshiping him. It's like, imagine you in a house and there's a fire everywhere. May Allah forbid. And I came to save your life. If you thank me, say, Shamsi, I thank you for saving my life. If I said, listen, don't thank me, you say, no, Shamsi, you deserve it. You saved my life. What about the one who gave you life and gave you everything? We should thank him, we should be grateful to him. But how? According to his way. I believe if I was alive at the time of Jesus, the only way to worship God by following Jesus' teaching. Before Jesus is Moses. Now the last prophet is Muhammad. Even just look at what's happened in our time. There is a war against our human nature. Literally now, someone can say, listen, you clearly see me as a man, but I believe I'm an elephant. And you have to accept me. Otherwise, you're a bigot. That's what's happening now. There's a war against our human nature. You know what? It's crazy that we have to literally blind follow these ideas. Otherwise, they will call us racist or a bigot or backwards. I don't mind calling me any name, but I'm not going to become a blind follower. I'm not sheep. I'm not going to deny what my own eyes. Understand? And the only religion that is standing against this evil agenda, who they want to destroy human nature, is Islam. That's why there is a huge war against Islam as well. Not against Christianity. In America, in Australia, Germany, Sweden, every day there's a bad article about Islam. Because they notice people gravitating towards Islam. You understand? Make sense? Yeah, so do you have any question about Islam? You can ask, don't worry.
I just like listening.
Alhamdulillah.
So, from your knowledge,
yeah.
How is science proving Islam
Brother, is
right?
it camera or a rocket?
How is science proving Islam right?
I'm not jealous, brother. Jealousy is not nice in Islam. It's not good. We should not be jealous.
The knowledge of the universe, as it is today, has been proven. There are some mentions of references in Quran to the way, like Atariq, the star, they're knots, right? There are references in Quran to how the universe is.
To be honest, my brother, when it comes to this scientifically proven, I don't really favor it. You know why? Because a lot of this is assumption. For example, some Muslims, they say there's a Big Bang in the Quran. I don't agree with that. There's no Big Bang in the Quran. You know why? Let's understand what is a Big Bang. Yeah, Big Bang, everything goes back to singularity. Time and space start after the Big Bang. But they go against the Quran teaching, because Quran teaching verses clearly show us there was space and time before that. For example, there was Allah's throne before the Big Bang, before Allah created creation, the universe. So many Muslims, what they do, they have this inferiority complex. They think the only way to prove Islam is the truth by using science. But I'm saying science is full of assumption. Even about this, الطارق وما أدراك ما الطارق النجم الثاقب. I don't really like to use, what I like to use when it comes to science, there's two types of science. There is a hardcore science, which people can verify by themselves. And there is a fake science, which a lot of it based upon cosmology. Just assumption. As Allah said, إِنْ يَتَّبِعُونَ إِلَّا الظَّنَّ وَمَا تَهْوَى الْأَنفُسِ. They just follow guesswork and what their desires tell them to follow. Understand, akhi? So when it comes to Islam, Islam is not in need of science to prove. Like I said, I'm talking about fake science. But there is a science which we can verify. Understand? Like about cameras. So I'm not against science. Understand? But when it comes to this issue, akhi, wallahi, you know, people are just crazy. Understand, akhi? Yeah, see, subhanAllah. So many Muslims say, no, akhi, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned in the Quran, like النبي عليه الصلاة والسلام, كان الله ولم يكن معه أحد وكان عرشه على الماء. Allah was, and there's nothing with him, and he was the first, and with him, and there was a water, and the throne above the water. So the point here is water is created, so it's going to be in a created place. So that shows you that it goes against the teaching of Islam, Big Bang. Big Bang actually comes with a package. It's not just you can't tell them I accept Big Bang like singularity. Come on, singularity is nonsense, just assumption.
Is a collective knowledge. There's collective knowledge that is also scatteredly mentioned in Quran.
There is some stuff, but you have to understand, akhi, when it comes to some stuff, yeah. For example, when it comes to when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned about the two seas, yeah, and there's a barrier between them, yeah, in between them. Some Muslims say no one knew about it. No, there is some Roman scientists knew about it, yeah. So what I'm saying, we have to be very careful in using science. That's my point. You understand?
What are your views on evolution, human evolution, to Adam alayhi salam being born? Is there a contradiction between the?
Yeah, evolution is a nonsense.
Nonsense.
Evolution is big lie.
So,
Sayyid, you here? Have you ممارسة فاتحة? Have you ممارسة قارعة? Who's Uncle Omar?
You got the guy from Superman, do you remember?
ما شاء الله, I'm Superman, alhamdulillah, good then.
How's Mohammed
Okay.
Hijab, is alright?
Muhammad Hijab, I can't see him, go ask him.
Yeah, I'll come for you.
Okay. No, please, I've exposed you many times, please, wallahi. Wallahi, come. You know Shia, I'm gonna waste my time. If you don't accept waste my time, you expose. Have you ممارسة قارعة? صوت قارعة. Are you ممارسة قارعة?
Are you ready to debate? Yes or no?
You are, look, he doesn't answer. He doesn't answer.
Are you ready to debate?
Can you answer my question? I will debate you on a condition, recite Surah Qari'ah.
Why is this guy speaking to me for?
You scared? Okay, this guy.
No.
They love shirk.
You're 17-year-old kid.
Mushrikun.
Why do you speak to a grown man?
You're 17.